Man, we've had a lot of fun played different games. We have lots of activities. It's really fun here.
This is Lauren Chung's first time at the Seeing Voices Montreal camp. And among the activities she and the other campers did was ASL storytelling. Through an ASL interpreter, she offered to tell me one.
Sure, I can tell you a story. One day, a boy was chewing gum. He liked chewing gum, but he heard his mom call to him, and he thought, oh no, my mom doesn't like when I chew gum. So he pulled out his gum and put it on a bench. Next came a man walking down the path, and he sat on the bench to read his newspaper. When he was done, he folded it up, but he was stuck. When he finally got up, he pulled the gum off the seat of his pants and threw it into the grass. Next came a fancy lady walking in her high heels, but her shoe got stuck. Ugh, there was gum on the bottom. She pulled it off and threw it onto a tree.
I appreciated Lauren sharing this tradition where stories are passed down from generation to generation with me. Jack Volpe, actor, board member of Seeing Voices, and ASL teacher, wants to foster and build on traditions like storytelling at the camp. Volpe didn't grow up using ASL. He grew up in a hearing family and lip read.
But for me, that was a very hard experience. I took ASL classes much later when I was 17, when I went into college. And that's where I developed my identity as a deaf person. And now I think of that experience as related to our deaf campers.
That informs his work with kids now, so he wants to reduce the isolation deaf kids experience. The camp began last year in part to counter the isolation that ASL-speaking youth were facing during COVID.
So I think this camp is an excellent opportunity to expose deaf children to ASL early. We don't want it to be later and have them go through those experiences of trying to sort out their identity, feeling isolated or depressed.
Although there are deaf and hearing youth at the camp, Volpe and the other staff encourage campers to use ASL in all of their conversation. Emilia Mavrodis de Coteau is a hearing camper. She speaks English and French, but her first language is ASL since both her parents are deaf. She likes meeting people who know ASL.
Because at my other school, I'm probably the only one who knows ASL, so when I come here, some other people know ASL, and it's fun to interact with them because they know the same language.
If you want to take in more ASL storytelling, Seeing Voices Montreal does public story time every 3 months or so. Amy Lowe, CBC News, Montreal.